What's that on my camera? It's a Stirge! Hello and welcome to the Battle in Barrow. In this video I am going to be making another miniature for my collection. I think it's the third time I've done a miniature video. I did the oozes, so we had some a lot of different types of oozes in that. We did the beetles just recently. George, Paul, John and Ringo. I should have included that into the actual video itself. I made 4 of them. Anyway, in this one we're going to be doing another low-level D&D classic staple encounter, the Stirge. So this is going to be my interpretation of it. There's no legs. My thinking behind that is because they're flying, they're tucking their little legs in, but I'm not that good. Really simple to make, cheap, easy, and that's the same with the beetle video. The reason I'm doing this is because I can't find any Stirge models. They seem to be quite a rare thing, and the ones I have found are ridiculously expensive just for one, and for Stirges you need flocks of them really, so I needed something quick and easy and cheap. On this there is probably an even better method to making them available. Cricket Staff Terrain has a video where you can print off a sheet out of paper and make some paper Stirges, and you can make those really quick and easy, and they look great, probably better than these, but hey ho, I thought I'd have a go myself at doing them, my own interpretation of them, and that's what this is. So yes, let's get on with it. So we're going to use barbecue skewers to make the Stirges out of, so I'm going to take one. So what we're going to do for the Stirge body is take a barbecue skewer, get the point. We are going to slightly bend it over so it snaps ever so slightly, but not off. So it's still attached, but just bent over. It's a bit like Concord. Everyone remembers what that used to look like. And cut it so in total it's about 1 inch long. And that will be our Stirge frame that we'll build upon. And then get some paper. This is just actually a pad of paper that I use to well, yes, it is what I use to it's my it's a dry palette bit of paper from Games Workshop. So what I'm going to do now is just draw some wings. It's sort of roughly done here, but I'll do them over. I'll do some Stirge wings and draw them on here. Effectively, you're drawing a pair of wings. And then what we're going to do is a wee bit of some scissors. I'm going to chop that off. Next, going to make up a little bit of green stuff. Little tip is where you're working with it, wet your fingers. I've put water nearby, so it can you can manipulate it without it sticking to your fingers. So what I shall do is I shall keep mixing this until it goes green. Just like that. So we'll take our bit of barbecue skewer and we're going to wrap that in green stuff. We're going to need to take about that much off and set to one side. And we're going to form So a shape like that is roughly what I'm going for. So tape it off at the end, and then I'm going to come in with a sculpting tool, and I'm just going to add lines in, fur lines, if you like, just so when we're painting it, it will dry brush well. And people might be asking, what about the legs? Well, for me, they're tucked under, so it'll be flying along like this, and the legs will be sort of underneath here, tucked under where it's flying around. If you're better at sculpting than me, feel free to sculpt some legs in. And there we go. Little tail. Now we have a sort of Stirge thing. I'm going to put it on there for now. That little bit we had took off. We had two little balls, for want of a better word, like an egg shape. I think it is here. And we are just going to give some real bug eyes. Probably a bit overdone, a bit big, but heck, I don't mind. I'm just going to put that here for now, underneath, because what I'm going to have here is a clear flying base. What I'm going to do is put a hole, pre-do the hole. We'll glue it on in a bit, like so, and now we can push his wings on. And coming with his wings, and before we do it, fold them back. And this paper here, the reason I use this paper is it doesn't actually crease too well. I don't actually need that for this bit here, but I'm going to try and curve them. I'm just going to get something round. Use a pen if you want, just to get a bit of shape to them, so they're not sort of totally flat. Once it's dry, once they're in place dry, you can do it a bit more, and I keep doing that. Then I keep working down here so no one can see me what I'm doing, and we're just going to I'm just going to use the green stuff itself to hold it in place. Just get it down a bit. There we go. It's a bit more to find. And all we've got to do now is allow that to dry, to cure. And when you leave it to dry, it's nice and hard. I'm just going to undercoat it. I'm going to use black by Coat to Arms, or as I call it, Chaos Black. Hold on to his little nose and get some black undercoat on. And what I'm going to do is I've undercoated it in this swamp brown. Leaving out his eyes, but if I do get some paint on his eyes, you can see here, it doesn't matter too much because I can go over that in black. I'm going to leave his, I forget what this stingy thing's called, viscous, something like that. I know, someone let me know in the comments. I'm going to call it his beak or his stinger. Yeah, I'm going to go over this, let that dry before I dry brush some red over it. Next up, going to give the whole body a dry brush in Vampire Red from Coat to Arms. And what this means is including this central bit of the wing here. I'm going to leave the wings themselves. That brown. Now my thinking of this red is they're bloodsuckers, so are going to be the colour of their food. Gorge themselves in blood. They're going to be red. The wings themselves will leave as this brown for now. What you end up with is sort of a reddish brown colour, so it's not bright red, but it's not brown either. These wing membranes are going to be done using dwarven flesh. And what I'm going to do is just going to paint not too much at this stage. If I make a mistake, I'll leave a little line here, the edge of his wing, go back over in a minute and do the central bit. But for now, do this. One thing to remember, do the underside as well. And whilst we're waiting for those membranes to dry, we can go back over the black on his eye where he may have got some red or brown on them. Also we can do his beak stinger. Next we're going to return to the swamp brown. And what I'm going to do is come in with a smaller brush and I just want to paint in the lines of his membranes. Probably could spend a bit more time on this than what I'm doing, but for the purposes of this video, hopefully you can see what I mean. I'm going to do the same on the underneath. The final stage is some flesh wash, just to knock that wing membrane colour back. It still has a fleshy tone to it, but obviously not as bright, like desaturating it almost. Feel free to add some over here as well if you want. But that is it painted. It's now just a time to get it fixed onto its base. For the basing, I've just got hold of some clear flying bases off of eBay. I got hold of hex ones because these are for last year when I fixed up some carrier monsters for Warhammer, and originally I believe they were hex bases, so I got some of these rattling around. But whatever ones you want to get, these are sort of 20-30 mil bases, so you can pop a stand in. And for the Stirge, we'll dab super glue in that hole we made earlier, and that will just pop on into the hole. And I tend to like angle them down ever so slightly. It looks like they're flying downwards, going to sting some of their prey. I'll leave that to dry. And you got some Stirges. We can have a look at them if you want. After escaping the giant fire beetles, the party enter another room only to be waylaid by a flock of Stirges.